Hey, it's Mike here, and today I'm going to be reacting to this sausage taste test of vegan versus non-vegan sausage, allegedly here on the UK news. I'm not familiar with the news station, the host, or the guy, but he's an alleged sausage expert. And I have full transparency seen a little highlight of this clip, so I sort of know what's gonna happen. And Lightning Fast mentioned the plant-based bundle is available now for only a few more days, and it is, again, $8,800 worth of ebooks and classes and all that amazing stuff for just $50 from all these really fit people, all this good stuff, and includes my ebook as well. Anyway, let's get to it. This is the video right here. It's on the show Jeremy Vine. You know, I'm not from the UK, I have no idea, but let's see what he says.
Here is 2 sandwiches, okay? And I'm gonna give them to Mike. And one sausage.
Why am I not getting this?
No, well, do you know, we can bring one in for you. We weren't sure.
Sorry, lady, I know you want sausage, but it looks like you didn't pass the sausage aptitude test.
I will do the sauce for you. You've got to tell me, right, of these, which is the real meat sandwich.
Easy.
So which is the real...
Easy. Oh my gosh. So this guy, self-proclaimed sausage expert. I went to his Twitter, and the only link he had was a website that had Porky in the name. So he might actually base a reasonable amount of his life around sausage. Let's see what he does.
Now, before you do it, would you like tomato sauce or would you like brown sauce?
No, that will try and disguise the true taste of a sausage sandwich, okay?
Show me which one the real meat one is,
Okay.
Mike.
I'm going to take a bite out of each, people, okay?
Yes.
So I'm now taking a bite of this one. Very nice bread, by the way, okay?
So he's trying to keep the taste neutral so that it's not disturbed. Here he is. I try not to laugh.
We need sort of background music now.
This is classic TV.
Yeah, that's funny thing I've always noticed, even when I'm doing taste tests, is like you take a bite and people don't realize how long it takes to chew and react. And usually it's like a good 10 to 15 seconds of just like, I don't know. So I agree. Background music required.
I'd say that's...
Well, don't decide yet.
No, I'll tell you what, that was the first one. I'm going to now
cleanse the palate. We've got time here, don't worry.
Now for the second one.
Strictly's got nothing on this. Okay. Go on, Mike.
It is absolutely obvious to me, this first one is the false sausage, okay?
Right.
That's not real sausage. That is cardboard.
Okay, number 1, cardboard.
This second one is clearly the real sausage. I could taste the meat in it. Excuse me. It was luscious and lovely. Tasted a bit like the one I had this morning. This is the winner.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so sausage number 2 is luscious, lovely, and tastes like the meat sausage that he had. And of course, he already ate sausage. That's concerning that he had already eaten sausage for breakfast.
Very interesting. What do you think? You think he's got it right? I mean, he
is the expert on sausages, so I suspect he's probably got it right.
I'm going to. Well, it's certainly, Mike. You did it with great conviction. Are you right? Is Mike right? Has he correctly identified the meat sausage?
Moment of truth.
The answer is that the meat sausage sandwich is actually down here, Mike.
Down here in my pants. No, we're gonna keep it clean, family friendly.
You've just eaten 2 vegan
you've been
sandwiches.
punked.
So you.
He's British Ashton Kutcher plus 20 years.
I think there we are. And you can have a meat sausage right now. You, I think, are a vegan in disguise.
Not at all.
He just got destroyed. So if that wasn't clear, neither of them were meat/animal body sausages.
What an underhanded, downright rotten trick.
He's offended.
To pull on a man whose reputation now as the great sausage butty king is ruined.
How do you feel that mistake was made, though? I mean, you've tasted sausage, right?
All I can say is that that's cardboard, and that's sort of almost cardboard. Almost cardboard.
Oh my gosh.
Call it tissue paper. Now I shall take a bite out of the...
Okay, so this is the part that I found super duper interesting that I saw, and I was like, I need to talk about this. Because he rewrote his experience based off what it was. So he's saying that the fake one that he thought was real actually now tastes like almost cardboard. What did he describe that as before? Luscious and lovely and like the real sausage that he ate earlier.
I could taste the meat in it. Excuse me. It was luscious and lovely. Tasted a bit like the one I had this morning. And that's sort of almost cardboard, almost cardboard.
I also want to add that this is like the ultimate vindication for those vegans who are at family meals, like Thanksgiving, which just happened, where you feed your family member an amazing vegan dish that they love, and then they find out it's vegan, and they're like, meh, actually it was gross. You didn't think it was gross 2 seconds ago? And then, of course, here he is going to have a real, I haven't seen him eat the real sausage afterwards.
Real sausage.
Real.
Okay.
And have that with a clear conscience. That was very interesting. I'm presuming you would rather have a real sausage than a vegan sausage, correct?
I would rather have a real sausage. However,
How does she know she can even know the difference?
Yes.
I do think there is an argument for vegan food. Let's not forget, we were just talking about climate change. One of the things you can do to help climate change is to eat a bit less meat.
I had to pause here because this is his reaction to eating the quote-unquote real sausage. He's not having any amazing, oh, this is so much better. He's probably wondering, crap, am I being tricked again? Because I can't tell the difference. Turns out you can't taste animal souls.
And I think one of the reasons why people are making so much fuss is farmers are making, or meat producers are making a fuss, is because they know that lots
That their money is going to not be as much.
of people are shifting, not totally to a plant-based diet, but to eating more plant-based food.
Yet after the person next to you couldn't tell the difference and you're saying to eat less meat, you still choose to eat meat. Anyway, that's the end of the clip. And to be fair to this guy a little bit, he was tricked. He was, dishonestly given 2 vegan sausages, but he should have said that they were both crappy if he really knew what he was talking about. And he immediately knew that, like, his reputation as a sausage master was gone from that point out. Although I feel like that was kind of more or less of a joke, but somebody that still probably eats sausage, 300 days a year for how old? Maybe 60 plus years old. Then he's still unable to determine that something is not real sausage. It's literally vegan food. So the implication here is that he would be satisfied by eating vegan versions of animal products. And talking more about that taste aspect of the taste pleasure justification that a large portion of the population really does use. I know people who personally say that I am not going to be vegan. I'm not going to stop eating animals because I really care about the taste. And so they could say my palate is more refined than this guy. He's the sausage master. He's a sausage expert. He's on the news, so it must be real. And I had to add a counterpoint in here with me without my sweater on. And that is that people might say, oh, well, this is just one guy. He thinks he's an expert, but it might be like Dunning-Kruger effect situation where he thinks he's better than he really is. But it also is the case that there's been large-scale representations of this a bit. For example, Subway, when they did a test of how much meat was actually in their chicken patties, it was about 50% meat. The rest was things like soy. And people weren't like taking a bite of that and going, this doesn't taste like chicken. But it's a trend here of people not being very good at distinguishing animal flesh from these vegan alternatives. So the hypothetical argumentative point that I just threw out there at myself is wrong. Anyway, and it goes without saying that taste pleasure is just not a valid ethical justification. And then we can put that into other analogies of like maybe somebody really likes feet. They have a foot fetish. It's not okay for them to like kidnap people, assault them to touch their feet just because of their own pleasure that they're getting from it. If it causes suffering to other people, that feet analogy was pretty bad. We're working on the fly here. But the point is that if it's something that people are using now all day, every day to eat what they're eating 3 times a day, which is animals, they need to reevaluate that. And the real question is, do you really even know the difference unless you've had a blind taste test? People just have their own concept of these different food groups, and they've just decided that they like one more. Maybe they did have a bad experience with the plant-based one, but I'm sure, again, they've had a bad experience with the animal-based one. So I feel like people should have to go and do like a blind taste test. And if they fail, then they should not be allowed to eat meat, if that's the reason. And then zooming out, we're talking about billions of people, in the Western world and beyond, of course, that are, again, deciding to be eating animals because of the taste. So yes, I'm putting a lot of stock in this one sausage expert being wrong to go ahead and say that like the entire world needs to reevaluate their taste-based consumption of meat. Because imagine at the end of the day, if like aliens came and they actually just magically replaced all of the animal meat with fake meat, and like not that many people really noticed. It makes you think, like, should we even be eating those animals based off taste? And there's probably someone who's gonna be like, yeah, but like Wagyu steak that's like fresh and massaged like weird deformed cows in a barn tastes really good. It's like, well, you know, you're maybe just a bad person, first of all. And second of all, most people can't afford to eat all that type of stuff all the time anyway. Most people, most meals are going to, you know, eat whatever fast food, sausage, processed meat, which is, again, carcinogenic, class 1A carcinogen there, when they could be eating something that tastes just as good that isn't a class 1A carcinogen. They would be healthier for the animals, the planet. Even as that woman said, she wouldn't go all the way on it because, of course, she likes to eat meat. She wouldn't push people in that far, that extreme of a direction to not be eating animals. But the message is pretty clear here. And my final point is that these vegan meats are only gonna taste better and better. And this is sort of a good representation of like the not as good tasting one next to the better tasting one. You know, it's an evolution over time. And there will be ones that are just gonna be healthier and not taste as quote unquote good because they're not gonna have as high of like a saturated fat content or a salt content and all that stuff. So that's just gonna be something that has to be conceded, is that there will be healthier, worse tasting foods always, but that should not be a justification to, you know, keep on eating animals, which anyway, I could ramble about this forever, but I think you've got the main points here. Let me know what you think about this guy down below, because it is ridiculous. Frankly, it is ridiculous, and it is hilarious, and there's a reason that it's gone viral on TikTok. That's why I saw the little clip. And you can also vegan beef up your knowledge and your recipe repertoire by checking out that incredible, ridiculous plant-based bundle deal, which is basically buying like I say, a pretty reasonably priced used car worth of materials at $8,800 for just $50. Link below, helps me out, and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.